Interlagos is the only F1 track that has hosted a sprint every year since the sprint has existed. 2021, last year, and this year. And this year, actually, shockingly, was the first time Max Verstappen won the sprint. 2021, it was Valtteri Bottas. 2022, it was George Russell. Today, it was Max Verstappen. So, just when it seems like every curse or every non-Max Verstappen trend is going a non-Max Verstappen way, Max Verstappen has broken it in 2023. The Monza curse, the Bahrain curse, I don't think it's a curse for the Brazil sprint, but if we're counting that, then, well, it's now been broken. But Max Verstappen won the sprint. He took the lead in turn 1 over Lando Norris. He actually started second. Norris was the fastest in the sprint qualifying, but Verstappen had a better start, not really off the line, but kind of getting up through the gears. And by the exit of turn 1, he was ahead and he ran away. Norris fell to third on the opening lap in the Mercedes cars, both of them, Russell and Hamilton. Like the first 2 laps, just great takeoff speed. They were doing great, made their way up to, I think Russell was second, Hamilton was fourth, fighting for third. But then they just fell back. The long-term pace, the long-run pace, the tire degradation, whatever it was, they just couldn't hold on to those positions, could not stay in the top 3. Russell ends up falling to 4th, Hamilton back to 7th. Remember, they've got a 1-2 in this race last year with Russell winning the race, Hamilton getting second. And yes, I know it's a different car, it's a different year, whatever you may want to say, but Mercedes has shown a lot of encouraging pace recently. Hamilton on track, finished second in Austin and then got disqualified because his car was illegal. But then last week followed it up with another second place finish. And, once again, while they weren't really super close to Max Verstappen, it was encouraging that they were consistently on the podium, consistently running fast. And it seems like just that race pace right now after the sprint is not there. Obviously, tomorrow is a longer race. It's the Grand Prix. Things can change, but I was a little surprised at how, not bad, but how off Mercedes was compared to both Red Bulls, McLaren, or at least, Lando Norris in a sense. Good battles throughout the field, I felt like. As I said, there was some shuffling early on, but it really kind of got back to what the starting order was. So as I said, Norris, he fell back early, fell back to 3rd, was able to rally back to 2nd. Russell got up to 2nd, fell back to 4th. Hamilton was up to 4th, fell back to 7th. We saw Leclerc. Did he move up a spot? Did he? I remember Yuki Tsunoda had a really good qualifying. Yuki Tsunoda scored points. He scored 3 points for AlphaTauri. They've been on a tear recently. Ricardo getting all those points last week. I think, did Yuki score in Austin? Did he? Yeah, he did, because he had the fastest lap of the race and he finished 10th, but with the disqualification, I think he finished 8th because of it. So yeah, AlphaTauri has gone on an absolute tear here all of a sudden. So AlphaTauri continuing their hot streak. Tsunoda finishes in the points. I guess let's get a look at the points finishers here. Verstappen scored the most points. He's already clinched the world championship. Who cares? He won again. I'm just kidding, Max Verstappen fans. Your driver, speaking of being on a tear, your driver is on a tear right now. And yeah, he's won again. He won his first ever Brazil sprint. He's won at Brazil before in the Grand Prix. He's looking to do that again tomorrow. He's on the pole for that. Lando Norris finishes 2nd. Good points for him. Good points for McLaren. Their fight for 4th in the Constructors with Aston Martin. Aston Martin had really good pace for qualifying in the Grand Prix qualifying. They're on the 2nd row, but they did not score any points here, so this is a big advantage for McLaren. Sergio Perez finishes in the top 3 in a race for the first time since Monza. I think that's good for him. Good confidence boost. Hopefully he can do good in the Grand Prix tomorrow. I know there was a bad timing yellow for him, I think, in qualifying yesterday, so he's 9th on the grid, but hopefully he can convert that pace into top 5, maybe even podium. Maybe Perez, come on. George Russell 4th, good chunk of points for him. Leclerc 5th, Tsunoda 6th, Hamilton 7th, Sainz 8th. Let me do some quick math to figure out how that works for the battle for 2nd in the Constructors. So Mercedes outscores Ferrari by 2 points, I think, if I did the math right. So good for them. They outgained them by 2 points. But the big points are tomorrow. So we got a Brazilian Grand Prix tomorrow. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, as I said. Verstappen's on pole. Should be a fun one. Brazil always provides a great race. So Last year was one of the races of the year. The year before was a great race. 2019, great race. The list goes on of how many great races there have been at Interlagos. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We got a NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship tonight. I'll do that review. And then tomorrow we got 2 races. We got the Brazilian Grand Prix, and then we've got the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race. So looking forward to all 3 of them.